All right. Hi Stampers, I am Meg from Loven Stamps and you are watching Maker Mornings with Meg. I have another project to share with you today that features some things from the catalog that most stampers overlook. So I hope you're not one of them, but if you are, it's good that you're watching because you're going to be so excited after this to add these simple supplies to your stamping collection. So whether you're a new stamper, you have limited supplies and you're just looking for a small amount of stuff to get started with, or you're packing for a trip maybe, you just want to stamp light on your journey, or maybe you know someone who's just getting started in stamping, this is a really great set of supplies. 3 things that you need to make a really great set of cards, and I'm going to show you, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them this morning, so we'll get through. Hey Trish. And so thing number 1 is the simple we're going the wrong way there. Classic Stampin Spots. So they're an assortment. They come packaged just like this. You get 8 colors. We're going to talk about why these colors are great. The next is the note cards and envelopes. So basic white note cards and envelopes. They come actually here packaged up like this, and you get a set of 20, so you'll have lots of, I forgot to count if it's 20 envelopes and 20 cards. So really right away you can make 20 cards. And then the thing to add to that for this simple 3-item process is a punch, and you can use any of the punches of your choice that appeal to you. But I'm going to give you 2 options here. One is the Easter Bunny punch, which is available right now, and I would say you should not wait if you'd like to get this, because we all know that when things get really popular, they have a tendency to disappear. And then the Postage Stamp Punch, which is one of my favorite all-purpose punches, rectangular postage stamp, I think is its official name. So those 3 things are going to get us started. I have on my sort of Eastery color today with my sweater and shirt and so forth. And then I think with that, I guess I'll show you the stamp sets too. Because the magic of these 3 things is that you are right at the mark to earn a Sale-A-Bration item for free. And so I'm going to suggest that this is the Sale-A-Bration item you pick for free. Thanks a bunch, because it includes lots of great stuff that's going to match with our punches and our spot colors. It makes lots of good cards. If you're thinking that you like to buy the bundles together, don't forget that Easter Bunny has a bundle with its own Easter Bunny stamp set. So we're not going to use that today, but you might find it handy. All right, as always, link is in video description for all the supplies, and I think we should get stamping. Hey Terry, hey Becky. I love when you guys say hi and let me know that you're here. Okay, so here are the pieces that we are using this morning. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my Stampin' Spots. If you've never seen these before, they are terrific. People always ask me how long they stay inked. They last a really nice long time. If you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you get these random colors in your Paper Pumpkin, so you can use those. But I love the color sorting on these. There are lots of different things that you can mix and match for doing sort of different effects. You can, look at like sort of the different feel of all of those different bundly pieces. This is another good one. These colors are really mixed and matched by Stampin' Up! Artists to give you lots of good options. So you don't have to stress over like not having the things that you need. Hey Sue and Tanya, and happy pre-Friday, Kelly. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna use Gorgeous Grape, Coastal Cabana, and Flirty Flamingo for this first project. And I'm going to go ahead and move the others out of the way. Now, lots of people do them different ways. They actually have a perforation on the side. You can peel back these little side stickers. I know this makes people cringe sometimes, but I actually use my scissors to slit right along those edges right there. And I'm going to cut myself on camera. Anyway, what not to do at home. I like to slit those. Sometimes you can use your fingernails so that the lid either is slit on one side and you can just hold it like this, or sometimes I slit them. Did I do any of these? Sometimes I slit them on both sides so the lids just come off, but either way. So if you find that you're having trouble keeping track of what colors are, you could always just keep the lids attached, and then you'll always be knowing what colors they are. All right, so let's look at our cards and envelopes. So these come, they are pre-scored so that they are ready for you to just go ahead and use. And they are 5 inches wide by 7 inches tall. So you're just going to fold them in half. They are right on the edge of what the U.S. Postal System likes to mail, but I have not had any trouble with them going through the mail. So plus they make nice note card sizes. If you're really worried, you can just put them in a larger envelope, but I think they work fine the way they are. All right, so let's grab one of these babies. And I am going to also say that one of my tips for using these note cards, you can stamp directly on them, but I really like to cut a layer that is going to go on the top. And you guys know me, I'm all about that shadow line that you get from the edge of a card when you layer a card, a color on color. So these pieces are cut to 4 3/4 by 3 1/4, and that's going to give us a layer here. Plus, if you make a mistake, then you can always change this out and you haven't wasted a whole note card. Oh, my friend Missy says that she loves the note cards ties too. Yeah. And Becky asked about the Stampin' Spots. They don't come in all the color families. This is the set that is available. There's 8 colors in it. So you get a neutral and then an assortment of colors to go with. And some of them are from the Regals family. Some of them are from the Brights. I always forget. Yes, Regals and Brights, I think mostly. Yeah. So let's see, we're going to use our paper here, and I'm going to give you a trick that you can use. I'm going to grab my scrap paper, and this is a trick that is great for using with Stampin' Spots. There's really not a great way to do this otherwise. There's some baby wipes and things like that, but it's really easy. So it's called a direct-to-paper technique, and you grab your Stampin' Spots and you just run across. Usually I like to start off the edge of the paper so that I don't get that sort of big smudge there, but yeah, it's just a different effect. I'm gonna take my Coastal Cabana now, and I might like turn it so that some of them are going the other way. I'm also gonna get this out of here so I don't get a extra texture line there. And then I'm gonna bring Flirty Flamingo in. We're gonna rotate this. And the idea is to get a good amount of color on the background. Might go over that, there we go. And I think I need one more sort of this way. So now we'll do purple again. All right, so I'm overlapping and not worrying too much about where the colors are going. Just want to get a nice amount of color there on the background. Becky, they are in the annual catalog. I know, right there. That's what everyone says. Everybody overlooks them. They're there, I promise. So the background we have here is really nicely set off then to go on our basic white background with our note card, but we are going to pull in our bunny stamp because it is the perfect one for this. I am going to slide this in and kind of toward the left side here, get my bunny kind of straight-ish, and then punch a bunny out of this. Now this could go on another card, which we're not gonna make today, so that would be like number 4 or 5 or something like that. But what we wanna do is we want to use this edge piece, and I am going to flip this over to the back side and use my Stampin' Spots. And wow, a new sheet of Stampin' Spots. Who else gets excited about that? Am I the only one? Like when it's the very first Stampin' Spot you're pulling off the sheet. So I am going to use way more Stampin' Spots than I usually do because I want to make sure that the area around our bunny stays nice and dimensional. So we want it to give us a nice shadow. So I'm going to pull these off. Sometimes I see people who are just starting with stamping. I find that the easiest way to use dimensionals is to peel them off the backing and put them on my piece of cardstock, and then I peel the backings off once they're on here. Sometimes I see people taking these off and like peeling them like this, which I don't know. Are you a double peeler? Maybe there's more double peelers than I thought out there. I don't find that the easiest, so I thought I'd share this other traditional way to use them. So I'm going to fold my cardstock in half so that I can see where the fold is. Then I am going to line this up, and stick it down. And now we have a really fun dimensional bunny card that needs a greeting, right? I don't know, you guys think it needs a greeting? I think it needs a greeting. So I'm going to use a scrap of paper. Lots of times we have all these scraps kind of laying around. One thing you might consider adding to the 3-item kit would be a Stampin' Spot. Sorry, not a Stampin' Spot. A pack of the basic white cardstock so that you have basic white to cut up and match your cards. And then of course some blocks actually would be smart. So I'm going to stamp here, There's No One Quite Like You, which is one of the greetings from the Thanks a Bunch stamp set that you can pick as your celebration item right now. And then I'm going to pop a Stampin' Dimensional on the back of this. I'll make up for my splurge on the others by just putting one here. Just kidding, you can use as many as you like. And then I'm going to add that to our card. And so now we have a really clever greeting there to go with our bunny. So if the bunny punch is the one that you get for your, oh, you can see my camera. If the bunny punch is the one you get for your 3-item kit, then this is a card that you can very easily make. All right, so let's look at some other cards that you can make. We're gonna feature some of these carrots here. So I'm going to give you some tips for those. And again, I always like to stamp on a layer. So I've got my layer of basic white cardstock here. And let's see, oh, Tanya says she's not a double peeler. Oh, Tanya, good question. Okay, Tanya said, are you supposed to store your spots upside down? And the answer to that is yes. All right, so this brings up a really good point. When you use your regular Stampin' pads, so let's grab one here that I have handy, Mango Melody, you'll notice when you store them, like it lives like this on my stamp counter, right? This is the bottom side here, and this is the top side that's always up. This is on the table, or in their protectors. Let's see here. There you go. See all the stacks of pads, and they're in there this direction. Because if you think about it, when you are storing these, then you can see that the ink pad is designed to have the pad inside the inky part upside down. So what that's doing is it means when your pads are sitting there being stored, that means all the ink is sinking to the surface of the pad so that when you open them, the ink is right there at the top ready for you to reach. You don't want it to sink down here because then it's harder to get the stamp on it. So these are designed to be stored this direction, but Stampin' Spots, they have the pads like this, and they are the fabric pads, so they're a little bit different. And so when you store these, if you think about it, you really want to store them this direction so that the ink is sinking to the top of the pad, okay? Ooh, that was a great lesson. Thanks, Tanya. I wasn't even thinking about that, but it really makes a difference. So that will help them stay happy longer. Okay, so we are going to, Sue pointed out the Memento ink pad is good like that also. Oh, so good tips in the comments, guys. Thanks. So we are going to use our carrots here, and we're going to go ahead and give ourselves a carrot card here. And you'll notice that in these colors, there are no oranges, but who says that you have to have orange carrots? Definitely not I. So we're gonna go ahead and branch out and do purple and teal carrots, otherwise known as Gorgeous Grape and Coastal Cabana. And I'm going to show you what how I feel about these guys here, because I think that it is much easier to stamp the one of the two steps before the other, and it is not the full image. It is this one, and I'll show you why. So let's go ahead and get this inked up. I'm gonna use our Coastal Cabana here. When I ink a stamp with my spots, especially when it's not a tiny stamp, it's a bigger one like this, I really like to set my stamp down and then tap and twist my stamp or my spot over it, okay? So what that's doing is it's getting a good amount of ink on there, and sometimes, like when we did our texture card here and we wanted those lines, you can get lines from the fabric and so forth. So instead of getting those lines on there, this twist, twist, tap, tap is definitely the technique to use, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp this. I'm gonna put it down here a little bit, and then I have my piece on there. Now I'm gonna go back with my full carat stamp, and I am going to ink this up. Okay, now I don't remember whether I have to, give me 1 second here. Okay, so I'm going to, I just couldn't remember. I think that I stamped off, but then I haven't made this card for a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna ink this up, twist, twist, tap, tap, get rid of some of that extra texture. I'm going to stamp once on scrap paper, and then I'm going to come back, and I can see right through here where I want to line up my stamp. And now I can add the rest of my carrot on there, okay? I know it doesn't look particularly carroty yet, but don't worry, it will. I'm gonna go ahead and use my chamois, which is super handy. I do love my chamois, and I added it to the supply list in the video description because it just really is a great tool to have on hand. All right, so I'm gonna stamp another carrot down here. I'm going to do the background again. You can really see, you see those sort of the textury lines, the twisting and the tapping. You wanna kind of look at what you've got on there and make sure that it's appealing to you so that you're not getting weird lines or swirls. And then I'm gonna stamp once on my scrap paper and once on my card. Oh, Becky says people grow purple potatoes. Yes. And honestly, I have purple carrots in my refrigerator right now. You can get all kinds of fun assorted carrot colors. I have not yet seen Coastal Cabana carrots in real life, but I definitely have purple. And Pepper, our dog, her favorite treat is carrots. And I can't believe she's not here begging because I keep saying the word over and over again. But we'll be thankful for our blessings at the moment. All right, so now I'm going to grab my greens, and I have 2 greens to work with here. So again, I'm going to use the lighter one first, and I'm going to pop our carrot greenery here above our carrots. Okay, and then we have our darker spot. Oh, this is one where I took the lid off entirely. We have our darker spot here in Shaded Spruce, and I'm going to use this for our for our other greenery spot here. And for this one, I'm going to ink the whole thing. I can't see, there we go, to get all the way down. But then for the second one, I'm going to go ahead, I want it to be shorter. I don't want it to go off the edge of the paper so much. So I'm just going to ink just this part of it. And this is touching on a tip that you can get away with Stampin' Spots. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. So, okay, so there we have our 2 carrots stamped here. They are going to go onto our note card here. So they'll go on like so, but we need a greeting to go with this. And so for our greeting, I am going to use the looks like spring here. This looks like spring image. And I don't know about you guys, but I send cards because I like the stamp sets. So let me encourage you to brighten someone's day because you like a stamp set. So maybe you don't send spring cards, but that does not have to always be the case. So feel free to branch out. Now, with Stampin' Spots, one of the things you can do easily is you can ink little tiny parts of a stamp like this. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it this direction so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to do the lighter color first. And I am going to ink, sorry, can you guys see what I'm doing? I'm going to ink just the word spring. So we have spring here in Coastal Cabana. And then I'm going to bring my Gorgeous Grape back in. And I'm going to ink the rest of this. I'm going to set it down on the table in Gorgeous Grape. So let's get this set here and slide it just a little. Okay, let's see. I think I need a little more ink on looks. There we go. So you can see now we have our stamp here multi-inked, and I am going to go ahead and stamp this on our scrap paper. And so now we have our Postage Stamp Punch, which, like I said, is just a workhorse of a punch. It's good for all around things. And I'm going to punch out our greeting. Grab a Stampin' Spot, put this on our card here like so, and now we have the greeting to go along with our card. So we put this on our piece here with Stampin' Dimensionals on the background, and we have this. Oh, Actually, I just realized I used Coastal Cabana on the other one. I don't know. I kind of like the shaded spruce better. I think when I was making this one, I was actually doing a video for my Loven Stamples demonstrator team. So if you guys have seen this before, I hope you're enjoying it a second time. But I was in a hurry, so I used the wrong one. I kind of like the spruce. I think it sets off the purple and stuff a little bit better. So, all right. So there is card number 2. We'll set this one up here since we haven't done the other one yet. Okay, so then card number 3 is going to use, again, I'm sure, can you guess where my starting point is? Yes, it's a pre-cut piece of layers here. Oh, Tanya says roasted carrots, yum. Agreed. We roast a lot of vegetables here at our house. All right, so I am going to clean this off again really quickly. If you don't have a chamois, I highly recommend it. It's a super great magnet for ink, which really makes your stamping life easy. And don't forget, it doesn't come in a stamping case. These you buy as a set of 4. And so then you'd have your case on hand to add to your piece there. Okay. All right. So I've got my carrot here, and we are going to go ahead and use the Flirty Flamingo, which is, I don't know, are pink carrots. I bet there's pink carrots out there. Okay. Like I said, we're going to start off with the darker or sort of the backgroundy image first, and I'm going to stamp 1. I'm going to stamp again. Repeated images are really popular in lots of things. If you think about like upholstery or curtains or home deck kinds of stuff, they are often a very popular effect. So you'll see repeated patterns in lots of things. So we're going to use our repeated pattern here for our carrots. All right. I'm sort of staggering and moving them around because I don't really want them to like look like they're all like lined up exactly together. So some of them are going to be higher, some of them are going to be lower. They will all go off the page. Okay, and we're going to leave ourselves a spot here. All right, and then I'm going to use my full stamp, and you can see how much easier it is to line that baby up when you have it stamped with the lines first. All right. So what do you guys think? Does anybody use Stampin' Spots other than paper pumpkin kits? Does anybody already use them? They are super easy to throw in a bag and take someplace. You're going someplace with kids or grandkids. You want to, the lobby of the ice arena while you're waiting for skating lessons. My stamps have been there a lot over the years. Lots of places that you can use these. So, all right. So then, if you're wondering about that spot that we left there, we are going to clean off our stamp really quickly. And we are going to bring in Coastal Cabana because we like the idea of a highlight here on our piece. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this one up. And I guess I ink mine both directions. I use both kinds here. I ink my stamps right side up and upside down. So you can do what works for you. And it'll vary from stamp to stamp. So, all right. Going to stamp off one time for Coastal Cabana and stamp on our project. All right, so now we have our one different colored carrot and then the rest. And instead of using this leaf image here for all of these, I am just going to use my the long sprig one. And I'm gonna sort of cheat it with my, cheat it with the inking. So I'm only going to ink it part of the way each time because I want to have a good amount of it showing there at the edge of our card. All right, I like that little green spray kind of thing. All right, so let's see, we'll get another one here. Now, some of the edges where there aren't carrots, I'm going to go ahead and add some of this green sprig as if there was a carrot that was like just off the edge of that paper here. So I'm going to do a little there. And we're going to do one more here. There we go. All right, so you see how that looks like it's come out of a bigger sheet of paper now. And those edges there really help to kind of fill some of that extra space. But I'm keeping the carrots all going either up or down. So they're all very much centered. All right, now I want to, I'm going to punch first because I'm going to add a greeting to this. And we're gonna use one of our other greetings from this stamp set. We're gonna use Look at You. Get it? There's like someone standing out. Anyway, okay, kind of punny. It is kind of a punny stamp set. So what are you gonna do there? So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp that first. I've got our Coastal Cabana spot here. And here, where is our greeting? Look at you. I swear I mounted this stamp before, but maybe I did not. Maybe it is still in our case with all of my pieces of things that I like to save. Oh, look, so it's in here. Okay. So let's pull this baby off and stick it down. I always like to set my stamps down and pick them up so that I know that they are attached sort of straight. They're not like bent by me trying to put them on. All right, and I've got our Look at You down here at the very bottom of our little card tag. And then I'm going to add a little bit of decoration here with our carrot. So I've got the mini carrot, this little tiny guy right here. There's actually a medium-sized carrot too. I'm gonna pop them on and add the teeny sprig. So there's a little teeny element here to go with them. Let's see. And if you ever thought about like what you want to get during celebration when you're gonna, get extra goodies to earn your free sets, extra blocks is always a good choice. I'm pretty sure no one ever said I have too many blocks. All right, so we've got our piece there. And then I want to bring in one more like sort of element for this to make it stand out a little bit. So I'm gonna bring in these 3 dots, which are also part of Thanks a Bunch, and I'm gonna ink them in Gorgeous Grape because we already know that these colors are smashing together, and I'm gonna add them right there in the center of our card. So we'll take this and flop this down here on our piece. We will add this to our folded card, of course, with Stampin' Dimensionals. And then here is our finished version, all ready to go with that extra layer on the edges. Now on this one, I actually fussy cut out that carrot because I honestly think when I first made this card, I made all of the carrots Flirty Flamingo, and I didn't think about doing this one in a different color. And I was like, oh, that's a nice greeting. Oh, it would be funnier if there was one that was different. So anyway, that's how this guy got cut out and added. So you can decide whether you like that cutout version as like a little added detail, or if you like it to be flat and even with the rest of them, like it was intended that way. All right, so there are 3 versions of cards using the Stampin' Spots, so that kit that we made at the beginning, right? So our kit had in it the set of 8 Stampin' Spots, which are not as cute with the lids off of them. Let's see. So our 8 Stampin' Spots, so this is the assorted Stampin' Spot collection. A punch of your choice, which the Postage Stamp Punch is the one that I use for most of these. I use the Easter Bunny here. And a pack of note cards and envelopes, which, where's my full pack? A pack of note cards and envelopes, okay? So those 3 things together give you endless possibilities to make up those 20 note cards and do kind of fun things. Now, if you don't get a pack of full cardstock to go with it, of course, you can cut your note cards to make the layers and the punch pieces and so forth. So you'd still get a lot of cards out of that package. But the great thing about this kit is that it is right at the mark to earn the celebration set of your choice. And Thanks a Bunch would be a great one, obviously, to go with these. So here are a whole bunch of ideas. Here's one more where I stamped more carrots here. So you could have lots of carrots on your Looks Like Spring card, or you could have fewer carrots on your Looks Like Spring card. But either way, there's some cool spot techniques that you can do with backgrounds, and some tips for stamping with spots that you might have known. So I love that you guys, some of you didn't know about the Stampin' Spots, so that makes that a great thing to have shared today. And I'm glad you guys are excited about the carrots. And yes, the Coastal Cabana carrot is really cute, isn't it? It is, yeah, like a tealy green. So All right, guys. So I am going to sign off with that today and wish you again a happy pre-Friday. I will be back on Tuesday with another Maker Mornings with Meg. So that's 9:30 a.m. Central Time on the Loven Stamps Facebook page live, or reposted very shortly later on Loven Stamps YouTube page. Usually you can also look at lovenstamps.com on the blog for a repost of the video from that that morning. So with that, I wish you guys all the best. I hope you have a great time for some crafting this weekend, and I will see you again on Tuesday with another project. I can't remember. It'll be a good one. I can't remember what it is, but it'll be a good one. So, all right. Oh, and Barbara says that I'm changing her mind about the stamp set. Yes, I have gotten several comments from people who were not initially in love with this Thanks a Bunch, but you know me, it has a pun in it, so I'm all in. All right, happy stamping, guys. Have a great day.